Yo, what's going on, everybody? GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about this week in the NFL. We're going to be going over every single game, all 14 games that happened this week, because we are starting to have bye weeks, of course, and literally all the best teams have bye weeks this week. You know, the Vikings, the Giants, Giants played Vikings, Eagles, Bills. I think there was another team, but those were like the top three in the NFL that had bye weeks. Quite coincidental. Obviously, the NFL doesn't design that because they didn't. I'm sure they didn't script the Eagles to have the fucking best season they've had since their Super Bowl year. But all right, I don't know, man. Let's get into the games. We're gonna start with the Thursday night game. We have the Saints and the Cardinals in a divisional matchup. Cardinals used 2 pick sixes in the first half to beat the Saints by 8. Big highlight was, Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury kind of having a squabble on the sideline, kind of like I think it's like a camaraderie thing. I think it's just them wanting to get things in check, and, Kyler kind of questioning him, and maybe Kingsbury does need to change some things, but, yeah, I think it's good for Kyler to kind of take authority and let his coach know when things are going wrong. He is pretty much the star player. They have D-Hop, of course, but, he's really leading the pack out there. Arizona Cardinals were trailing late in the first half, and, obviously they weren't happy about that, so obviously that's where the Kyler Murray-Kingsbury thing came from. But looking at the highlight players of the game, I suppose, Andy Dalton went 30 for 47. He had 361 yards and 4 touchdowns, but 3 picks, including 2 pick sixes. They could have won by damn near a touchdown without those picks. So, yeah. Kyler Murray, pretty good game, though. 20 for 29, 204 yards and a touchdown. Pretty nice there from him. Elijah Benjamin, I believe, is the running back for the Eno Benjamin. He had 12 carries for 92 yards and a touchdown. Good receiving battle between Chris Olave and D-Hop. Chris Olave getting 7 catches for 106 yards. Great job by the rookie, making veteran plays out there. And DeAndre Hopkins, 10 catches for 103 yards in his return. So that's good. They get a win off the return, and hopefully they can use that momentum moving forward. But Sunday, we're just going to get to my Packers losing to the Commanders, of course. The Bears lost to the Commanders last week, and I was watching that game, and I didn't think much of it. But, okay, I guess the Commanders are decent. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers lose to the Commanders. They drop their 3rd in a row. Aaron Rodgers just face down on the turf, sailing a lateral out of bounds, frantic, failed final play. Rodgers just feels so defeated. Taylor Heineke, great throws that game, hitting McLaurin on an absolute dime. Jair Alexander getting fucking burnt like toast. Commanders hung on to that one, but Aaron Rodgers, one big highlight was his throw to Aaron Jones. That was insane. Antonio Gibson had some plays. Devondre Campbell had a pick 6, so that's some stuff we can praise. Aaron Rodgers threw 23 for 35 and had 2 touchdowns. Taylor Heineke, 20 for 33, 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, but obviously, he threw a pick 6, but obviously, it didn't really matter at the end of the day. Receiving, really the only offensive threat was Terry McLaurin this game. He had 5 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Great game for Scary Terry. Getting guarded by Jair Alexander too. Just absolute dog mentality from him that game. Falcons and Bengals is up next. Joe Burrow and the Bengals strike fast. They blow by the Falcons, winning by 18. Man, good coaching as well. Right off the bat, Joe Burrow to Tyler Boyd. Jamar Chase was celebrating all game with the gritty. Yeah, man. Good stuff for Joe Burrow. Marcus Mariota had a couple good plays, but overall it was Jamar Chase's day. And, Tyler Algier. And Mariota. Really only guys that came to play for the Falcons today. Or a couple days ago. Marcus Mariota, 8 for 13, 124 yards and a touchdown. He has some very peculiar games. I don't know. It's weird. Joe Burrow, though, 34 for 42, 481 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't think Mariota played a bad game, but could have done more, obviously. Bird for the Falcons, he had a 75-yard receiving touchdown. Tyler Boyd, beast mode like game, just a beast game, 8 receptions, 155 yards and a touchdown. Moving on to the Lions and the Cowboys. Cowboys lean on defense and Dak Prescott's return. They beat the Lions by 18. You know, Dak Prescott, I've been watching film, I guess, gets back to it. 5 turnovers for the Lions that game. Man, it's crazy. I don't really want to talk about the highlights too much. I kind of want to just get to the player performances. I don't want to be just talking for that long. Man, Dan Campbell was very frustrated. All these turnovers. Trayvon Diggs with an impressive interception leading to good offense. I mean, Jared Goff, 21 for 26 threw 228 yards, but he threw 2 interceptions, which were pretty costly, I would say. I don't think he would have won the game regardless, but yeah. Dak Prescott, pretty solid return, man. You got to remember, he's coming off an injury. 19 for 25, 207 yards and a touchdown. That's enough to beat a team like the Lions. Let's see. Jamal Williams had a good game for the Lions. He had 15 carries for 79 yards. Good game for Troy Pollard as well. My goodness, 12 carries for 83 yards. Pretty decent receiving battle here with Raymond getting 5 catches for 75 yards. And CeeDee Lamb having a good game, 4 catches, 70 yards. Not surprised there. Colts and Titans, a division matchup here. Titans sweep the Colts for the 2nd straight season with a 9-point win. 3 turnovers for the Colts offense. Titans were banged up. What? Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, man. That's crazy, man. Titans are banged up, but they managed to get the win there. They moved to 4-2, which is kind of impressive, really. Pick six. Austin Hooper made some plays. Paris Campbell and Matt Ryan made some connections, but yeah, that's about it. Not a crazy game at all. Matt Ryan threw 33 for 41 or 44 with a touchdown, but did throw 2 interceptions. So, yeah, Ryan Tannehill played pretty good, I would say. 13 for 20, 132 yards. Not much, but not bad either. Jonathan Taylor had 10 carries for 58 yards. Let's see here. Austin Hooper had 3 catches for 56, and that's about all the highlights we have for that one. Buccaneers and Panthers. I mean, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are just in a decline right now. Tom Brady and the Bucs drop under 500 with a shocking loss to the Panthers. Tom Brady hasn't been in this position in 2 decades, a game under 500 this far into the NFL season. That's like never happened. Man. Deontay Foreman played a hell of a game. Hubbard as well. P.J. Walker throwing absolute dimes. DJ Moore with great catches. And Mike Evans obviously dropping a big catch. Tom Brady threw 32 for 49. P.J. Walker threw 16 for 22, had 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, Deontay Foreman, 15 carries for 118 yards. With the absence of Christian McCaffrey, did they really lose out on that? That's obviously an overreaction, guys. But Mike Evans without the drop, I mean, he still had a good game. He had 9 catches for 96 yards, so there's that. Giants, Jaguars. These two play a lot, I feel like. Giants stop the Jaguars at the 1-yard line for a 6-point win. They get to 6-1. Brian DeBull, what a coach. Nail biter here. Final play, final few inches before the goal line, and they just get the stop. So that's fantastic. Great offense to go up in the 4th quarter. Coming up short for the Jaguars. Dexter Lawrence called for a pass interference. That's interesting. Trevor Lawrence with a goofy touchdown, jumping over the line. Daniel Jones continues to play pretty good this season. 19 for 30, 202 yards and a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence played a pretty solid game as well. 22 for 43 with 310 yards. Travis Etienne, I thought he played great on Sunday. 14 carries for 114 yards and a touchdown. Darius Slayton had 3 catches and 58 yards for a touchdown for the Giants, while Christian Kirk had 7 catches for 96 yards. Obviously, they're getting pretty decent money out of Kirk, but they just haven't been able to win that many games. So let's move on here to Browns and Ravens. This time the Ravens hold on late. They win by 3 against Cleveland. Gus Edwards returns and has 2 touchdowns. Double-digit lead in the second half and setting up for a win, which they almost choked. Game-tying field goal gets blocked. Kareem Hunt had some touchdowns. Browns had a fumble late in the game, but they still couldn't win the game. Lamar Jackson lined up as a running back and ran the fucking football. It's kind of crazy. Looking at the box score, I think Jacoby Brissett played a pretty good game. 22 for 27, 258 yards. Lamar Jackson threw 9 for 16 for 120. Fantastic game for Nick Chubb, though. 16 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. Amari Cooper had 3 catches for 74, while Devin Duvernay had 2 catches for 42. Solid game there. Moving on to Jets and Broncos. My goodness, the Jets are looking good. However, Breece Hall hurt after a 62-yard touchdown, and the Jets 7-point win over the Broncos. Yeah, Jets don't really have much to celebrate about. This is probably the worst, 5-2 they've probably ever felt. Yeah, man. Breece Hall, what a beast. I mean, Ripon was obviously going to struggle against a guy like Sauce Gardner. Prayers up for Breece Hall. I think he's out for this season. Hopefully he returns next season better than ever. A lot of people put their praise in him. And hopefully with Breece Hall out now, Elijah Moore can step up for this team, Zach Wilson's threw 16 for 26. And Ripon threw 24 for 46 but had a pick. So, yeah. Breece Hall, absolutely phenomenal. Sensational play for him. 4 carries, 72 yards and a touchdown. You have Michael Carter for the Jets getting 2 catches for 45, while Jerry Jeudy for the Broncos gets 7 catches for 96. Ripon damn near played better than Russell Wilson. I mean, Jesus. It's terrible, man. I don't know. Moving on to the Texans and the Raiders. I'm really happy the Raiders got a big win like this. They deserved it, I think. Josh Jacobs rushes for 3 touchdowns. The Raiders beat the Texans by 18. Yeah, man. Praise the offensive line for how Josh Jacobs played on Sunday. Yeah, man. Raiders with some trick plays, all that stuff. Pick 6 for their defense as well. They were just playing amazing. Philip Dorsett with a punt. Yeah, man. Josh Jacobs played like an absolute stud, man. Davis Mills, though, he threw 28 for 41, had 302 yards and 2 touchdowns, but a pick 6, obviously. It didn't do much to cost them the game, but it was a catalyst for sure. Derek Carr threw 21 for 27 with a touchdown for 241 and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 20 carries, 143 yards and 3 touchdowns. One of the better running back performances we've seen all season. Akins for the Texans, he had 3 catches for 68 yards, while Devontae Adams having another solid performance off that misdemeanor charge. 8 catches for 95. So, yeah, let's move on to Seahawks and Chargers. Kenneth Walker and Marquise Goodwin lead the Seahawks. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. My goodness, Marquise Goodwin. They lead the Seahawks to a 14-point win over the Chargers. People thought they were going to end up in the NFC West bottom tier, but man, the Seahawks are leading their division after 7 weeks. Kenneth Walker, man, Michigan State prodigy. Mike Williams got hurt. Hopefully he's okay. He's a receiver I have a lot of respect for. J.C. Jackson, hopefully not, season-ending injury. Marquise Goodwin. I'm so happy he's back in the NFL. Austin Eckler played pretty good, but other than that, it was the Seahawks' day. Geno Smith threw 20 for 27, had 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. Threw an interception, but they made up for it with their offensive weapons. Justin Herbert threw 33 for 51 and had 2 touchdowns, but an interception really threw them over edge, I guess. Yeah, guys, Kenneth Walker III, he is an absolute dog, isn't he? 23 carries, 168 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Marquise Goodwin on the receiving end, getting 4 catches for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. They really needed that after DK Metcalf went down, so great game for the Seahawks. I have so much respect for them right now. Chiefs and Niners, wow, this was a shit game. Patrick Mahomes' 3 touchdowns lead the Chiefs past the 49ers by 21. The Niners, for the Chiefs falling into a hole early in the game, kind of motivated them to just strike on all cylinders. Mecole Hardman had a good game. Juju as well. Their receiving core, wow, their new receiving core was going crazy. George Kittle, though, good touchdown catch. Chiefs pass. That's weird. Yeah, man, Mecole Hardman. What else can I say? I know it's raining outside. You guys might be able to hear it, but I apologize. Hopefully, I'm loud enough to talk over the rain. But Patrick Mahomes, damn near flawless performance. I mean, what can I say? 25 for 34, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had an interception, but hey, it was made by my boy Hufanga, a.k.a. Troy Polamalu Jr. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think he played good besides his interception. He had 25 for 37, 303 yards and 2 touchdowns. But yeah, I guess that interception kind of cost him a little bit. Pacheco for the Chiefs, he had a pretty solid outing, 5 carries for 43 yards. And Jeff Wilson, surprisingly beating even with Christian McCaffrey in the lineup, Jeff Wilson always prevails. He had 7 carries for 54. Juju Smith-Schuster having a great game. He's having a pretty good season so far. 7 catches for 124 yards and a touchdown, while George Kittle having a game of his own. 6 catches, 98 yards and a touchdown on National Tight End Day. Steelers and Dolphins was the Sunday night game. We actually had some pretty good primetime games this week, I would say. Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins survive a scoreless second half to beat the Steelers. Mike McDaniel told his team before the game, he's like, look, we need to get more turnovers. But big toe-tapping interception by the Dolphins at the end of the game he's really asking for it. Kenny Pickett with that last name. Kenny Pickett off, really. Very costly turnovers by Kenny Pickett. But George Pickens, great catches. He's had a really good rookie year so far. Raheem Mostert playing pretty impressive today, so there's that. Kenny Pickett threw 32 for 44 and had a touchdown, but 3 fucking interceptions. And you can't really do anything about this when Tua Tagovailoa is having the game he had, 21 for 35, 261 and a touchdown. There wasn't anything crazy going on. Jalen Waddle had 4 catches for 88 yards, but that's about it. Yeah, I would say so. Moving on to the Monday night game, the game that took place last night, Bears-Patriots. I'm kind of happy for the Bears franchise, man. That's a big win for them. I'm a Packers fan, obviously. I'm not a huge fan of the Bears or anything, but they're in the same position as us, so I kind of feel sympathy for them. Jaquan Brisker as a rookie getting a great interception. 3 interceptions for their defense. Mike Pennell got ejected. David Montgomery was making some runs. So was Khalil Herbert. So their run game and their pass defense was just what sent them over the edge. Justin Fields, he threw 13 for 21, had 179 yards and a touchdown, threw a pick, but didn't beat out Bailey Zappi's picks. I don't know, Mac Jones just about got Drew Bledsoe last night by Bailey Zappi, but he threw 14 for 22, 185 yards and a touchdown. That looks pretty good for a rookie, but 2 interceptions, and big interceptions as well. Can't be throwing shit like that, man. Justin Fields, 14 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. Just taking the game into his hands, making big plays, improvising in the pocket. That's what the Bears have needed for a while now. You know, you can use your wheels. You don't have to be a pocket passer, and you shouldn't be a pocket passer. If you're Justin Fields, you shouldn't be out there playing like Tom Brady. Like, that shouldn't happen. But, you know, Darnell Mooney had 3 catches for 53 yards, and Devontae Parker had 3 catches for 68 yards. So, pretty solid game there. Bears did a great job at stopping Ramondre Stevenson. He only averaged a little over 3 yards a carry. He had a touchdown, but Bears defense, man, you got to commend them. They played great. That's going to do it for the games. Probably going to chill out for a little bit and then go to lunch. But, yeah. 2 of 3 videos for the day. We obviously have the NBA recap tonight, but leave a like, comment, and subscribe. GZTV is always bringing you guys these videos. Every single week of this NFL season, we are going to be going over every single game, as well as going over every single NBA game, every single night of that as well. So just stay tuned. The channel has got plenty of content to go around, so that's dope. Have a good rest of your day. GZTV.